ScoreCzar here. Kind of having a little frustrating time here. I'm actually on the road in Cancun, staying at the Hard Rock, and I got my baseball's ready to go. Today's the day I need to launch it. I happen to be on the road in Cancun, and there's just so much sunshine. I can't deal with it. I'm from a part of the country that doesn't have sunshine or humidity, and I'm kind of trying to get used to this. But I need to get this thing launched because we're making some money here. So it's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through the boring stuff where we make money, and then I'm going to show you a couple panorama views of Cancun. So let's share my screen here. Which button is that? It's one of these buttons. Okay. Okay. So here's the Major League Baseball, what we're doing so far. So the game started like April 1st. So I started kicking and doing simulated bets on the 6th. And as you can see, a lot of red here. First, day one, looks like we made some money at a buck. But then we kept going red. Got a one green here. And then finally the numbers started to kick in. And you can see we went from losing 85 bucks to losing 20 to losing money, and then kind of vacillating. But then we put nearly a whole week together where we were positive. So we got 299 bucks in the hole. I knew this would happen because the numbers just aren't ready yet. So 299 in the hole, and then we started winning, and we've knocked that down to minus 27. Then we had a night last night. I'm going to attribute that to a bunch of travel and being sidetracked. I don't know if that's out or what, but now we got the game set today, and I'm going to give you the picks. So we got 195 bucks in play. We take that minus 89.99. We move it over here. This is our carry. Here's our bets. This is how much we're in the hole. And these are the games that have not played yet, so we don't know if they're won or not. And I'll show you that here in a minute. So right now, as the day stands, we got $195 in play, just like this would indicate. And so right now we're negative 284.99, and we hope to change that around. Ultimately, be green in this column all the way around. So let's take a look at the pick sheet. And we're just going to one by one, real quick. Let me lay this out for you. So the first game here is Milwaukee at Pittsburgh. There's three bets. There's the spread line, and then there's the totals. And so what I've done is I've gone ahead to use my numbers and the system, and I'll get into that later. I'm going to focus on the result first. Making these and then as the games play out, we'll see whether we won or lost. And one thing I want to point out: anytime we see a plus in these fields, we're going to double down. We're going to go from $5 bet to $10 bets. Anytime we see a plus, not on this column, in this column, or this column. So here you see game one. We see two of these. So we're eventually we're on the other side from Vegas. We're going to try and match that. And these have been paying off lately since the numbers have been heating up. And so we're going to double down on those. So anytime we see a plus to bet, we're going to bet it. Hopefully, as we move along. So first game, Milwaukee at Pittsburgh. We're going to say Milwaukee wins 4-2. The line is minus 1.5. So that's in our favor. So we say more than 1.5. The odds is plus 132, so that's our $10. And when the game plays out, we're going to feel if we win. The money line, so the money line is strictly who wins and loses. So we're going to bet Milwaukee win, and the odds are minus 124. So we ran our prediction. Our predicted total score is 6. The Vegas line is 7, and we're going to go under 7, which is very rare. That's plus 100, as barely see an over-under in a plus situation. But here we are. So we're saying 6 minus 7. We're taking the under plus 100. And as we go along, when we fill out what we've won, we're going to accumulate the winnings over here. and it's going to tell us a running total over here in our earnings tab. These numbers will start to update here, and we'll accumulate them here, and it'll start knocking that. Okay, so only doing this because we're starting to win, and I want to get the word out on this. We want to have a nice long summer of winning baseball games and beating Vegas. So game 2, Cleveland at Boston. For some reason, now one thing I'll side note, we don't take pitchers into play, the pitcher secondary, because I can't figure out a way to work the ERA consistently in my process. So we're just strictly by the numbers. We'll talk about that in later episodes. But we say Boston beats Cleveland at Cleveland 11-4. And so Boston is, so Cleveland's favored, but so we got the plus over on our side. So we're plus 1.5, but fortunately the odds are -7. The money line is plus 135. So there's our 10 bucks is associated with that. 7.5 is the line for the over under, and we say 50 to take that over at -107. Twins at home to the White Sox. We're comfortable that Minnesota's going to beat them by. So all these games are going to be plus or minus 1.5 on the spread. And so in a case like a one-run game, the team we actually picked to lose will be our play. And I'll show that to you. So Minnesota at home to White Sox, minus 1.5, minus 113 on the odds. We're going to take that. Minus 245 on the money line. We're going to say that the Twins are going to win. And then the line is 7.5. We say 7, so we're going to take the under. That's -1. We're going to bet $5, and you see here our total bet is 15. And so that's where this number comes from. We add everything up, and that's the total of all of our bets. Okay, Cincinnati at home to Philly. Cincinnati's playing really, really well. We have them winning by 2 runs, and so but the Vegas line says Philly's going to win, probably because the pitcher's good, but we don't look at the pitcher. And we're winning. We're making money. So we're going to take that plus 1.5, minus at -19 on the odds. And the money line is plus 143. So we double down, put the 10. We have 10 runs. 6-4 is 10 runs is our predicted total. And the line is 8. We're going to take that 10. Royals, who are playing really well. Kansas City is going to be a good team this year. At home to Toronto. Toronto's still getting their feet up. We do have them winning this game. So we're going to get, and Kansas City is, so I don't know how strongly I feel about this because I really like Kansas, but the numbers came back. Toronto wins. So we're plus 1.5, we're minus 225. Let me explain. They think that Vegas thinks that it's going to be a close game, okay? And it could be a one-run game. So a lot of people are going to play that plus 1.5 on Toronto. And since that's a good, solid play, the odds are terrible. It's minus 225. You're not going to win much money because that's a safe play. Understand what I mean? But in our case, we're saying that Toronto's going to win. So it's plus 104. So it's minus 10 on our bet. We double down. We say 11 total runs, and the line is over 8. Or is the line 8, we're taking the over, minus 107. Cubs at home to Houston. Houston is falling apart. They're not a very good team. They start out okay, but they're just falling apart. So and Chicago's been playing really, really well. So we say 7-2, something of a rout. They're at really, I don't know why, but Vegas says Houston will win because of the pitcher. So plus 1.5, we're going to take that minus 157. That's a really good play. Plus 104 on the money line. We say Chicago's going to win. 7.5 is the line. We say 9. So we're going to take the over, minus 117. Seattle on the road at Texas. Seattle's good little. Texas has been underperforming. Our defending World Series champs are just not playing at the level that they had previously in the prior year. And even Vegas agrees. They have Seattle winning. So it's minus 1.5. We're taking it, plus 138. There's our key on that plus sign in that column. So we're going to bet 10. Minus 120 is the odds on the money line. That's pretty good odds. So we're going to take that. And then, okay, so the line's 8.5. We say 7 runs the under. And in this case, that's kind of a risky play. We're going to get rewarded with the plus 100, so we're going to double down on that plus 100. Very rare that we see plus column in the over/under, but we're going to take that, double down. So it makes our bet $25. You can see here, there's no doubling down here. So 3 plays, our base bet is $5. When we double down, we're going to increase it. So 15, there's nothing to double down on. Here's 20 and 25. We found some things to bet on. Okay, get towards the end here. San Diego, the ball flies out of the park of Colorado. We don't care. I'm saying that because the line is 10.5. We'd rather low scoring game. San Diego is favored to win. We're going to take that, but we're going to get 104. So we're going to double down on that, minus 10, and money line's minus 148. The total's 10.5. That's a lot of runs. We say that it stays under, minus 104. That's our play. Dodgers at the Nationals. Dodgers just a better team. They're not playing that great, but still a better team. So they're minus 1.5. The odds are minus 120, and the money line's minus 195. The totals are 8.5. We say it stays under. We take that minus 10. And our final game of the night is Yankees hosting Oakland. Well, what can I say about the Yankees? They're just not playing that well. But we do say that they beat Oakland at home 4-2. That's a 2-run. They get here minus 1.5. So it's 1.5 runs. So we have to win by 2 in order for this to pay off. Minus 117 is our odds on the spread. Minus 275 on the money line. We're going to take that. And then we say 6 runs scored, and it's half as the line. So that's minus 118. So as these games play out, I'll record them. They're going to fill in our bets, and I'll go in at the end of the night. And I shouldn't show that. That's how I make my predictions. And this will update. So we see it's 4:25. It's whatever time it is in Cancun. I don't know. Well, I just know the first pitch hasn't happened for anybody yet. All right. So we got a blank slate for $195. We're trying to get back to good. And right now we're minus 284.99. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the view from my deluxe luxury hotel room here in fantastic. Stop sharing screen. Okay, back on me. All right. I can't see. There's too much glare outside. I can't see what the screen sees. So I'm just going to kind of wing this here a little bit. But this is where I walk out, and oh my God, here we are at the Hard Rock Cafe in beautiful Cancun, Mexico. Kind of early in the morning still getting the day started. Probably going to have a drinky poo or 16. I'm here for a wedding. My daughter's getting married. And we're going to have a little rehearsal dinner tonight, 5:15. We're going to go off of the campus here at the Hard Rock and go have a nice meal. And then the wedding is on Friday. Just too much glare. I can't see my screen, so I got to walk it back into the room and sign off. So this is our first episode. Hopefully that we'll get some winning, some money in the win column, and start making some money. And I hope you follow this channel and play whatever you can. The odds I'm playing are from a casino that I can drive to when I am home. And so I've taken their lines, which should be very similar to the lines that you should get in your area. Or if you can bet online, I can't in my state, but if you can bet online, make sure you compare the lines that I'm talking about versus what you're getting on your bet sheet, and make sure that you agree. So that's it for today. We're going to check back in probably tomorrow because I'm going to be a little tied up today, and we'll go over how we did last night or the previous night, and then we'll do a little preview for the next day. And the emphasis is on fun while we're down here in Cancun, especially, but the emphasis is also on making money. All right, folks, thanks a lot for checking in.